Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Barely Art beginner design process video. Today we're going to be making a pink cowgirl door sign. It's going to be really pretty with lots of shiny aspects. Before we get started, let me just explain to you what our beginner friendly series is. Our beginner friendly series is where we're going to show you how to design projects that we make on the lives. Not all the time, the live projects that we make are fully downloadable projects from our website. Sometimes it's just pieces of SVGs that we put together, but always using Barely Art SVGs. So we're going to show you how we decide how to design a project. So we're going to be using the Barely Art website and the Cricut Design Space app. All right, we're going to start on barely.art. So here on the screen, you can see that we have all of our SVGs over here. Most of them are free, but there are a few that are paid, including one of the ones we're using today, which is the pink cowgirl set. It's only $1, and trust me, it's worth it. So you can add to cart, and you'll also be getting the party mirror ball. This was from our design team 11 team. They picked a mirror ball to create. So we're just going to add to cart. Checkout. And then you go throughout the checkout process. These are the two that we need. And because this is paid, you will have to enter your payment information. And then once you get those downloaded, you can download from the website here. It'll also go to your email once you fill that out. So back to Design Space over here. This is what the project is going to look like. It's a door sign, so it's going to be pretty big and hang on side of like a bedroom door, front or back. So you're going to upload your SVGs here. We have them uploaded. It's the mirror ball and the pink cowgirl set. Add to canvas. All right, so this is what it looks like at first. Right now, our pink cowgirl set is in a group. To undo the group, you come up here and then ungroup. Now you can move each one individually. I'm going to go ahead and save just to get it started. Alrighty. So first, I'm going to start making the backing of the signs so we can decorate each piece. So first, we're going to go to shapes. We're going to look for the round cornered rectangle. Make this bigger here. And I'm changing the color so you guys can see what I'm going to do next. So there's technically two ways to do this next step, and I'm going to explain why I prefer one versus the other. So right now, these corners are all rounded, and I want to make offsets for all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste. And then the sizing here I used was, I wanted to make it as the entire biggest piece, 11.5, because it's the biggest the Cricut can cut. Or if you have like a Cricut Maker or Cricut Air, that's the biggest it can cut. So I want this smaller piece though, and there's length of 10.5 and a height of 7. So I'm going to go ahead and change those so we can just give it a start off on the right size. Whoopsie, I want to unlock that, otherwise it won't let me change things. One at a time, and then relock. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy this one. Alrighty. Now, if I wanted to start off with the bigger size and work inward here, it's going to end up looking different with whether you're going offset out and then offset in. It changes the corners a little bit, and I just want to show you guys what I mean. So offset, I want to get bigger by, I think it is 5. Apply, and then I'm going to apply again. All right, and then this one, I started off bigger, so I want to go inward, -5, apply. So you can see which direction you're going. If you're starting off smaller and doing these rounded corners, it's going to stay pretty round. But if you start off start off bigger and then go inward, you're going to have more sharp corners. And I prefer to be on the more rounded corner just to keep the look pretty consistent. So we're really going to start off with the smaller rectangle here. So offset is going to actually be positive. I'm going to change it to 0.25. Apply, apply, and then without clicking anything because it's already highlighted here, I'm going to do it again. Offset, 0.25, apply. And then I just want to change my colors. And the whole thing should be 11.5. Perfect. All right. Now, when we're designing it, one of the big things that for projects is we think what materials we want. And a lot of times, of course, working with paper, but paper can do some pretty interesting things. It can be pretty varied. So there's smooth cardstock. That's kind of your basic, what you get in most sets. And there's textured cardstock, which has kind of a linen texture to it. And of course, there's glitter cardstocks, and there's also foil cardstock. So you've got lots of options as far as textures and colors. And I love using foil cardstock. If I get the opportunity, I will. So I'm going to go ahead and change this one to gray to represent my silver cardstock. Make sure to save. And these are going to be the backing of our project. Go ahead and put this here. And because I'm going to want to move it around or want to stay here without moving each individual piece, but maybe the sign itself, I'm going to go ahead and group these, highlight and hold shift to click all of these at once and then group those. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to be able to decorate it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the name. So let me get to text over here. And if you're a Cricut Access member, you'll have this same font that I'm using. If not, you can always use, Creative Fabrica, and they have a lot of great fonts on there. And especially if you sign up for their emails, you can get like the free font day or like dollar font bundles. So check that out. It's a great resource to use. But I'm going to use the Cricut Access font analog script. And then I just think it's kind of got that groovy sort of going with the mirror ball look. And I'm going to put my name this time and put it in white. All right, now this one I'm going to want to do 2 offsets on it as well. So I'm going to shrink it down a bit and then go ahead and make my offsets. I'm going to keep that. I'm actually going to move this down to 0.2 and apply. And then I'm going to do it one more time. There we go. I'm going to change my colors. Oh, actually, this one has 3 offsets. I didn't notice. So I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. I'm going to click that most outer layer, offset, apply. There we go. And I'm just going to change my colors to match my color scheme of pink. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and group this because I don't want to move it around too much. There we go. Okay, and hit save. So right now the letters, if you zoom in, you can see these individual lines, which usually means that each one is cut out separately. Right now my Cricut is showing that if I go to make, it's one cut. In the past I've had to weld that, so it could be an update or it could be a glitch. Not completely sure. Either way, just to be sure, if it's a glitch, I'm going to go ahead and weld it anyhow. So I'm going to go combine. I'm going to go to combine, bottom right of my screen, and weld it. There, now you can see that it is connected into one shape. Should be one cut. And save. All right, now we're going to get on to decorating. So I'm going to move the mirror ball down here. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to go with 7.5 for now, see how that looks. And then I want to change the color. I want to use since I'm using silver up here, I want to keep that accent, kind of keep my project consistent throughout. So I'm going to change the backing to be a silver. and the front to be white. I'll probably use a glittery white when I start cutting, but I'm not 100% sure. But probably a textured or glitter white would be best, just to keep up that kind of funky vibe. Alrighty. Now we have all of our cowgirl set over here. So I'm going to bring my hat. Kind of size it. Now it's at the very back right now. I want it to be at the very front. So I can go to Arrange, Bring to Front. If I click Bring Forward, it'll just go a little forward about here and moved from here to in front of this piece. And so it would be a long ways till I get to the very front. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump it to the front. All right, and I'm going to want to put an offset on this one too. So I'm going to make it a little smaller because the offset will make it slightly bigger, and then apply offset. I'm going to match it with the letters and do a 0.2 offset, and then put that to silver. Now, sometimes when you make the offset, it could be an entirely filled offset, or it could make holes in it because it's reading a lot of elements here because I had the entire project clicked. So if you can see here, if I bring it out, it has these little holes in it. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on which element you're holding. So I'm going to go to contour and just hide all contours. And then I can move it back and it's full and it won't cut any weird things, pieces out when I'm actually cutting. All right, I'm going to do the same with the boots. I'm going to move them up here, bring it to front. I'm going to try and put them the right space. Okay, and this got out of its group, and I was messing with it earlier, so I'm going to group it again so I can move it around. Slightly bigger. It has a lot of tiny elements on it, so I would prefer generally to make it a little bit bigger. If you're using vinyl, that might not be as much of a problem, but I'm going to be using paper, so I'm going to go ahead and make it as big as I can without making it too big. Add my offset, apply, make sure it doesn't have any weird pieces, and it does. Contour, hide all contours, change the color, and move it back. Alrighty, so we've got the first piece of the sign pretty much filled up, except I did add a little star here because right now this is pretty blank. Depending what paper you're using, maybe you're using more glitter for the pink here, which might make it kind of feel more full, but if you're having just plain pink, you might want to add some more decorations. So I'm just going to take the star from the hat and copy, make it bigger, add it right here. You can add more stars or you can leave it here. I think I just added one star for the other one, but as you see, we're going to use more stars. There we go. All right, on to the next sign. We're going to be doing pretty much the same thing here. No font, but we are getting this guitar. Bring this to the front. And curve it there. Just kind of get it happy where I want it. Now we're going to add an offset here. And you can see that it shows you this little example of what it will be. Like that blue line is how big it's going to look. I'm going to do 0.2 and it shrunk down a little bit. I think I'm going to add a few layers to this. I'm going to go stick with the 0.2, offset, do it again, apply, one more time, apply. So this added a lot of space around my guitar. So I want to make sure it fits in here. It's pretty tight squeeze. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Turn it a little more, and there we have it. Now it fits in there nice and now it fits there nicely, and I'm going to go ahead and again I want to use that silver. This darker color here and silver again. Awesome. Okay, so we've got this one set up, and now we want our sheriff badge. Range, bring to front. And another offset. Honestly, the best thing that I've noticed when I'm making projects is that when you start thinking it's like, oh, maybe I should take some of this off. It looks like there's too much. It's rarely, if ever, too much. It's always so much more dynamic and fun when you add as like so many elements that you enjoy. That's been my experience. So don't be afraid to put pieces in there. And remember, once you cut it out, you can just like put it together a little bit, like without gluing it down, and you can see what you like and what you want to take off of it. Or maybe just arrange a little bit differently. But in my experience, just the more you add or the more it feels full, the fuller it's going to look in real life. Alrighty. And I'm not going to use the little cow skull here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it, but I will use this lucky horseshoe. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make the offset for the mirror ball. I'm going to bring that to the, let's see, 3 times. So offset, offset, offset. Alrighty, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the colors. I'm doing this one to kind of match, kind of match my sign above. See how it's dark pink, silver, light pink, but I'm going to keep the dark pink because I think the white and silver here is going to be pretty bold, so I don't need the white pink or the light pink there. Alrighty. And then this is looking pretty small, so I'm going to go ahead and make it bigger. It's right now at 9.5 by 9.5 inches, so I'm going to leave it there. Bring the horseshoe to the front. Oops. And give this one an offset as well. And you can see that little blue preview line. Apply. And then just change my colors to what I want them to be. And use lots of shiny, shiny silver. Alrighty, and that is it. So I'm going to save here. I'm going to be using 65-pound cardstock for the project, except for maybe the glitter paper that I might use here. But for the most part, it's all the same. So I'm just going to show you make. Actually, first, hold on. Let me go back. I'm going to hide this project so that way we can focus on one at a time. There we go. So here we are at the first part of make. This is where you can move your objects around. Let's say you had a different sized paper. You can change the material size here. And it'll tell you what you can and can't use. Because it will just like if you had smaller paper and it didn't fit these categories, it would not fit the project, so it won't give you that option. Usually, like for example, the copy paper size is not here. And then you can continue. And just make sure your machine is connected and on to your computer. You can use USB or Bluetooth. And like I said, for most of my pieces, it is going to be the light cardstock 65-pound. And I'll click that using the fine point blade. And then if I'm on the white color glitter cardstock, then I'm going to use a thicker paper. There isn't a glitter cardstock option for the Cricut Maker. Sometimes there isn't all the options. I think the Cricut Maker has more options than the Cricut Air because it has that dial, and you can use custom and you can pick out of a list, but it doesn't always have everything. For example, I think it has foil acetate instead of just acetate, but you can find out which thicknesses kind of work for you and your materials. These are the two that I'll probably be using. It's glitter cardstock, and it would be the same fine point blade. And then once that's going, once you're ready for that and you clicked your material, your Cricut machine will be lighting there's an arrow button and it'll be blinking, and that's when you'll click that to load your material that's on the cutting mat. And then the C on the Cricut machine will be blinking as well, and you can use that one to begin cutting. Once you finish that, the arrow will be blinking again, and you can unload your material. But other than that, that's how we design our projects. Let me go back so you can get a look here at our final project. So this is what it's going to look like when we do our project on the live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful and you guys can use these methods to create your own projects and design things and customize even the projects that you use on our lives. Maybe you have a cowboy and you want to change the colors and use different shapes. We have plenty of free SVGs on our website, barely.art. If you want to check it out. And we hope to see you guys soon. If you want to check out any of our other videos, they are on YouTube and the Barely Art account. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.